Anytime.
Hello. How many of you guys have seen me around campus riding around on this big wheelie board deal? Just raise your hand. All right, good. Well, that is called a longboard. And I'm here to tell you about what longboarding is and what it means to me. First of all, I want to tell you how I started longboarding. The first time I ever longboarded was, I kind of got pressured into it by my friends because they're a-holes. I first started downhill longboarding, which is, if you ever heard of that, you get going pretty good speed. And the hill we were at was up by Baronet, and it was pretty decently sized. Anyway, I got on the longboard, we started at the top of the hill. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get going so fast. So we start going down and everything, and I got to about 20 miles an hour, and which is not that fast for longboarding, but it's pretty fast for a person that's never done it before. And I started getting speed wobbles, which is you move back and forth, and I ended up rolling out of it, cutting out my shoulder really bad, and nonetheless, it's very fun. A longboard is, like, just in the pictures, it's just like a larger scale skateboard. It's meant for, like, it started in Oahu, Hawaii, and it's meant to be a cross trainer between, like, people who surfed, and the natural movements of the longboard are meant to mimic the surfing on the water and stuff. And its original name was sidewalk surfing, and which pretty much explains what it was. And there's a bunch of different types of longboarding. There's slalom longboarding. It's much like slalom skiing, if any of you have ever heard of that. There's hybrid longboarding, which is this guy right here, which is meant to go downhill, like for higher speeds and stuff. It's also meant for cruising too. Transport longboarding is the most common. Really, it's meant to get from point A to point B, as you guys see me ride around campus every once in a while. And downhill longboarding is it's my personal favorite. The fastest I've ever gone was probably about 47 miles an hour down a hill, and that was on Augusta, right next to the Rice Lake High School, if you guys have ever seen that. Why do people longboard, if it's not already obvious? You feel free, you feel liberated when you go longboarding. It's like all your problems go away for that short amount of time. Like for downhill longboarding, you get this feeling of euphoria. You get this just such an adrenaline rush that just runs through your body, and it's absolutely incredible. I've got a story about downhill longboarding. I was longboarding with two other guys down Augusta again, which is right next to the high school, and it's a pretty long, gradual hill. And my buddy had just gotten a new longboard, it was pretty loose, so you could turn really fast, and we got about 40 miles an hour, and he started getting really, really bad speed wobbles. He went like 4 feet this way and then 5 feet that way, just back and forth. And he ended up rolling out of it, cut up his shoulder, banged up his head, scraped up his knee. I think he fractured his elbow a little bit too.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was decent. But most of all, it's the bonding experience you get with your friends that you go with. You know, you get to talk, ride around town, and it's just a great experience. I definitely recommend trying it. And that's longboarding.